The crimson dust of Mars swirled outside the crystal dome of Lyra's training chamber. Inside, the air was still, thick with the quiet hum of Martian technology. Lyra, a girl barely a teenager in human years, moved with a strange, liquid grace. Her black hair, usually tied back, now flowed around her as if caught in a gentle breeze. Her eyes, a deep shade of violet, focused intensely on a small, shimmering orb floating before her. This was her gift, or as some elders called it, her burden, the serpent's power. She wasn't like other Martians. While they used machines and science to control their world, Lyra could feel the planet's pulse. She could whisper to the dust, making it dance, and she could send tiny tremors through the ground, soft as a heartbeat. Today, she was practicing a difficult move, pulling energy from the ancient Martian rock to mend a faulty circuit. A small, important task. Her body rippled, almost like a snake coiling. Energy flowed from her fingertips, a soft green light. The faulty circuit flickered, then began to mend. A smile touched Lyra's lips. Success! But then, a sudden surge of power. Too much, too fast. Lyra gasped. The green light exploded outwards, hitting not just the circuit, but also a control panel to her side. Sparks flew, alarms blared, and a section of the dome's holographic sky flickered, showing a brief, forbidden glimpse of an ancient Martian ruin, usually hidden from view. The alarm was sharp, piercing. Lyra froze, her heart pounding like a drum against her ribs. She had exposed something secret, something powerful. The elders, ancient and stern, arrived quickly. Their faces, usually calm, were now etched with disapproval. Lyra, one of them said, his voice deep and slow. Lyra looked down, shame burning her cheeks. She knew her mistake was serious. She had revealed a hidden part of Mars, a place of old magic, not science. The elder continued, "You will go to Earth, a primitive, wild place. You will learn of chaos, of natural order. When you have found your balance, perhaps you may return." Lyra looked up, fear gripping her. Earth? A world of water and strange creatures? She was being exiled. The journey would be long, lonely, and full of unknown dangers. She felt a cold dread settle in her stomach. She was leaving Mars, maybe forever, because of a single terrible mistake. The space shuttle waited, a dark shadow against the red Martian sky, ready to take her far, far away. The journey was a blur of darkness and strange sounds. Lyra felt like a tiny seed, tossed through a vast, silent ocean. When the shuttle finally jolted and opened its hatch, a new world hit her senses like a shockwave. Mars was red and silent. Earth was a riot of greens and blues, alive with noise. Birds sang songs she had never heard. Wind rustled through tall, leafy trees, and the air was thick, humid, and smelled of growing things. It was too much. She stumbled out, her Martian-adapted eyes squinting against the harsh, bright sun. The ground beneath her feet was soft, damp soil, not the hard, dusty rock of her home. tall green giants. Trees, she remembered from her lessons, stood all around her, their branches reaching to a sky that was impossibly blue, dotted with fluffy white clouds. Lyra felt terribly small, a tiny red speck lost in a giant green world. Her simple clothes were made for Mars, not this damp, humid place. She shivered even though the air was warm. Her stomach rumbled, a strange feeling she rarely had on Mars, where food was given in precise energy packets. She needed to find shelter and something to eat. Using her snake-like senses, she felt the vibrations of the ground. The trees were alive with hidden creatures. She sensed water nearby, a flowing stream. It was overwhelming, but also strangely drew her in. Lyra moved slowly, her body still feeling the wobble of the journey. She found a small cave, hidden behind a curtain of thick vines. It was dark and cool inside, a welcome escape from the blinding light. She sat down, pulling her knees to her chest. A tear traced a path down her cheek, cutting through the thin layer of dust that had settled on her face. She missed the quiet hum of her Martian home, the familiar red sand, the faces of the elders, even their stern looks. She was truly alone. But then, a strange sound caught her ear. A low hum, almost a song, coming from deep within the forest. It was unlike any sound she had heard on Earth, a sound that spoke of something ancient and different. Her Martian training kicked in, a small spark of purpose in her fear. She had to find out what it was. Her mission, even if she couldn't remember it clearly, was to learn. And this new sound, this mysterious hum, was a lesson waiting to be discovered. Lyra moved with a new sense of purpose. The humming sound grew stronger as she pushed through thick bushes and climbed over mossy rocks. It was a rhythmic sound, almost like soft bells ringing underwater. She came to a small clearing, hidden by tall, glowing flowers. And there, in the center, was the source of the sound. It was unlike anything she had ever seen. The creature was small, no taller than her knee, but seemed to be made of pure light. Its body shimmered with all the colors of the rainbow, constantly shifting and flowing. It had no clear shape, no real legs or arms, just a soft, glowing form that floated gently above the ground. As it moved, tiny silent bells seemed to ring from within its very being, creating the beautiful hum. It was simply beautiful. Lyra, used to the strict, ordered life of Mars, felt a strange feeling bubble inside her. Wonder. She took a step closer, her violet eyes wide. The light creature paused its slow dance. Two large, dark eyes, like polished obsidian, turned towards her. They were not hostile, but curious, gentle. Lyra felt no fear, only a deep sense of peace. She slowly extended her hand, palm up, a gesture of peace taught on Mars. The light creature floated closer, its colors swirling faster. It reached out, a part of its glowing body, a soft, warm light touching Lyra's fingers. A jolt of energy passed between them. Not harmful, but like a silent whisper. Lyra felt a connection, a deep understanding that went beyond words. She felt the creature's simple joy, its connection to the living world around it. Then, using her serpent powers, Lyra did something instinctive. She sent a soft, gentle vibration through the ground, a rhythm that matched the creature's hum. It was a communication, a greeting from her Martian heart. The light creature responded instantly. Its hum grew louder, more joyful, and it danced around Lyra, its colors shimmering like a living rainbow. It brushed against her legs, then floated above her head, showering her with tiny bumps. Sparkling moots of light that faded before they touched the ground. Lyra laughed, a real laugh, full and free. The light creature, which Lyra simply called Sparkle, became her first constant companion. It followed her like a shadow, its gentle hum a comforting song in the wild. But Earth was vast, and Lyra's journey of discovery was far from over. Over the next few weeks, as she learned to find food and shelter, she met 4 more creatures, each as unique and alien as Sparkle. Her second friend was a creature of the air, a sky whisper. It had no wings, but floated on the wind currents, its body a shimmering, transparent membrane that caught the light. It communicated through soft, bell-like chimes that Lyra somehow understood as warnings or playful calls. With her serpent powers, Lyra could create small air currents, guiding Sky Whisper through tricky passages in the trees, deepening their bond. Then came Root Crawler. This creature lived beneath the ground, its body a mass of glowing, root-like tendrils. It moved through the soil like a fish through water, leaving faint trails of luminous earth. Root Crawler spoke without sound, sending feelings of ancient wisdom and deep peace into Lyra's mind. She learned to sense the Earth's hidden pathways with Root Crawler, discovering secret springs and underground caves. Next, she found Shadow Shifter. This creature was a master of disguise. It could change its skin to match any surface, becoming invisible in plain sight. It had large, intelligent eyes that seemed to hold all the secrets of the forest. Shadow Shifter was cautious, but Lyra's calm presence and her ability to feel subtle vibrations helped her connect with it. Shadow Shifter taught her about stealth and how to see the unseen. Finally, deep in a misty valley, she met Songstone. This creature looked like a pile of mossy rocks, but when it moved, soft, deep tones resonated from its body, creating a living symphony. Songstone was slow and strong, and its sounds filled Lyra with a feeling of deep comfort and ancient connection. She would sit beside it for hours, letting its natural music wash over her. With each new creature, Lyra's world grew richer. She was no longer just surviving, she was living. She spoke to Sparkle with soft hums, soared with Sky Whisper, explored with Root Crawler, learned patience from Shadow Shifter, and found peace with Songstone. These 5 beings, so different from any life on Mars, became her family. They did not judge her mistakes or send her away. They simply accepted her, loved her, and shared their strange, beautiful lives with her. Her heart, once heavy with exile, now felt lighter than ever, full of a new, unknown kind of love. Days bled into weeks, weeks into months. Lyra stopped counting. The harsh lessons of Mars, the stern faces of the elders, the silent red dust, they began to fade like old pictures. Her memories of Mars became like whispers in a dream, hard to catch, harder to hold. Was there a specific mission she was sent on? Was she supposed to return? The questions no longer felt important. Her life was now defined by the rhythm of the earth. The rising sun, the flowing water, the calls of her creature family, Sparkle's constant, joyful hum, Sky Whisper's silent dances in the wind, Root Crawler's patient guidance underground, Shadow Shifter's quiet wisdom, Songstone's deep, comforting melodies. They were her world, her teachers, her companions. Lyra found herself falling deeply in love with these strange, alien animals. It wasn't the kind of love Martians understood, a practical, logical connection. No. This was a love that came from her very core, a love that made her feel whole. She would spend hours simply watching them, touching their strange forms, feeling their unique energies. She was Lyra of Earth, not Lyra of Mars. Her soul, as the elders might call it, was no longer tied to her home planet. It had been given freely to this wild, green world and its miraculous inhabitants. She stopped thinking about going back. The very idea felt wrong, like tearing herself away from a part of her own body. The Martian elders wanted her to learn humility. She had learned it, not by force, but by truly seeing the vast, unknowable beauty of Earth and accepting her place within it, not above it. She had learned how to be small, not in a weak way, but in a way that made her a part of something much bigger. One day, while sitting with Songstone, its deep hum filling the air, a faint image flickered in her mind. A red desert, a dome, the face of an elder. She tried to hold on to it, to remember the name of her mother or her father, but the image was blurry, distant. Songstone's hum deepened, a comforting sound that pulled her back to the present. She looked at Sparkle, floating near her, its light a soft, steady glow. She looked at the giant trees, the blue sky. This was her home now. Mars was a forgotten dream, a faint echo from a life she no longer recognized. Her heart beat with the rhythm of the earth, filled with an extraordinary love for her unique family. She had lost her past, but she had found her true self. Life continued in its beautiful, wild rhythm. Lyra and her 5 companions lived as one, moving through the forests, sleeping under the open sky. Lyra felt a deep, peaceful joy she had never known. But then, something new, something truly unexpected began to happen. It started subtly. Lyra felt a strange warmth deep inside her. A new kind of energy that wasn't from her serpent powers. Her body felt different, softer. One night, the sky above them put on a spectacular show. Not the usual stars, but a rare alignment of strange, colorful lights danced across the heavens. They pulsed with soft, gentle energy, casting the forest in an ethereal glow. Lyra stood with her 5 creatures, their forms illuminated by the cosmic ballet. Sparkle's hum became a gentle melody. Sky Whisper chimed softly. Rootcrawler's tendrils glowed beneath the soil. Shadow Shifter's eyes shimmered, and Songstone vibrated with a deep, resonant sound. As the lights in the sky reached their peak, a wave of pure, loving energy washed over Lyra and her family. It was not a physical force, but a feeling of profound connection, of ancient magic. Lyra felt her heart expand, connecting with each of her creature companions in a way she never had before. Their energies, their very beings, flowed into her, merging, becoming one with her own. It was a moment of absolute, perfect union. When the celestial lights faded and the night returned to its quiet hum, Lyra felt changed. Deep within her, she sensed a new life, a miracle. It was impossible, illogical, but true. She was pregnant with a life born, not of Martian science, nor human biology alone, but of the deep, spiritual, and physical connection she shared with her 5 alien companions. It was a fusion of her Martian self, her earthly experiences, and the unique energies of Sparkle, Sky Whisper, Rootcrawler, Shadow Shifter, and Songstone. Fear was not part of her reaction. Instead, a wave of pure wonder and immense love washed over her. She touched her stomach, feeling the tiny spark of life growing within. This was the ultimate bond, the proof that her time on Earth had changed her forever, making her something entirely new. She was no longer just a Martian girl with snake powers. She was a vessel for a future unlike anything the universe had ever seen. The days that followed were filled with quiet anticipation. Lyra felt the life inside her grow, a warm, constant presence. Her 5 creature companions seemed to understand, circling her gently, offering comfort and their unique forms of silent communication. Sparkle's light would often glow softly near her. Sky Whisper would create gentle breezes. Rootcrawler would bring her nourishing plants. Shadow Shifter would stand guard, and Songstone would hum its soothing melodies. When the time came, it was a moment of profound transformation. Lyra found a hidden, soft clearing, surrounded by ancient, wise trees. Her body, once attuned to the strict disciplines of Mars, now moved with the instinct of pure nature. And there, with her 5 beloved companions surrounding her, she gave birth. Not one baby, but 5, each one a unique, precious miracle. The first was small and delicate, its skin shimmering with faint, changing colors, like a tiny echo of sparkle. Its eyes glowed softly, full of gentle light. The second seemed to breathe the air itself, its movements impossibly light, as if it could float on the wind. A tiny reflection of Sky Whisper. The third had skin that felt like soft, damp earth, and tiny, almost invisible tendrils that moved beneath its surface, hinting at a connection to the ground like Rootcrawler. The fourth had remarkably large, dark eyes that seemed to hold deep wisdom, and its skin had the strange ability to shift its pattern slightly, a miniature shadow shifter. And the fifth, perhaps the strongest, felt solid and comforting, and from its tiny body came faint, deep hums that resonated like ancient music, a clear link to Songstone. They were all different, beautiful, and utterly alien. They were her children, born of a love that defied all known rules. Lyra looked at each tiny face, her heart overflowing. All memory of Mars was gone. It was not a sadness, but a completeness. Her past life was a distant echo, a dream she barely remembered. She was no longer Lyra, the exiled Martian girl. She was Lyra, the mother. Her new home was this wild, green earth. Her family was these 5 strange, beautiful creatures, the fathers of her children, and her purpose was clear: to protect and raise these 5 unique beings, living symbols of a love that transcended worlds. As the sun set, casting long shadows through the trees, Lyra held her children close, surrounded by her loving, unusual family. She was home. And her new story, a story of unexpected love and new life, had just begun.